A tale of 2 video clips with 2 very different outcomes. Let's go ahead and slow it down. This first video of Gus and I was taken the other day during a scratching session that we were doing out in his dry lot. Scratching sessions are something we do a few times a week. He is an incredible communicator, and I pay very close attention to his facial expressions in order to make sure that I'm finding the spots that he likes versus the ones that he doesn't like. What I do here without really knowing it is I'm moving forward into kind of a little bubble that he has around his head. And at first he gives me a warning with his teeth to just back off. Now instead of backing off, I extended my hand toward that area and he gave me a much more visceral reaction. That was not the correct move. And I don't immediately move my hand away. I just hold my place. He clearly is letting me know that is not okay. And at this point I go ahead and I pull my hand back. I'm trying to talk to him calmly, acknowledge that, hey, okay, that was wrong, I'm sorry, and I kind of just wait for the next steps. And you can tell he's uncomfortable. He is not happy with the placement of my body. I have pushed a boundary. I have not been listening to him very well, but he quickly changes his tune to let me know through his body language what he is looking for. He is okay with scratches. He does want me to use that scratcher. He touches it again, and then he positions his body to where he wants scratches. All that happened between us in this moment was he trying to let me know that I had crossed a boundary, and for whatever reason, he wasn't okay with me being in that area that I was in. I had absolutely zero concern or fear of him biting me because I wasn't going to continue to push him when I knew that there was something and there was a boundary that he had set that I didn't need to cross. This video clip showed up on my FYP this morning, and I immediately saw how clearly this horse was trying to communicate that something was wrong and it was well over threshold. In that very first clip, you saw this horse try to nip at the owner once. You now see it twice, second time. You now see it a third time. You now see conflict behavior a fourth and a fifth time. And what happens when you choose to blow past a horse's communication over and over and over again? You end up hurt. And unfortunately, that's what happened. This person ended up bit. This horse drew blood. She did say that she punished this horse pretty extensively after it happened, but it just never had to happen. Now, there is a whole slew of people that want to talk about demanding respect and punishing horses for ever showing that behavior. And that if you don't punish that behavior, that's how you end up getting hurt. Now, I live in the camp of behavior being shown as nothing more than communication and information. And if a horse is being really loud with you, all that they're looking for is for you to listen. Now, if you go the opposite route and decide to punish that behavior, all you're then telling that horse is that they don't have the ability to share anything with you. And you shut down those emotions, or you shut down them sharing those feelings. And then what ends up happening as time goes on and they have a hard time containing that is why you'll all of a sudden have a horse that seems to explode out of nowhere, or it had never shown anything like this before, and all of a sudden nothing ever happens all of a sudden. When you suppress, or when you try and force a horse to suppress themselves into a level of communication that you've deemed safe and appropriate, because you want them to mold themselves into our language and what's comfortable for us, the byproduct of that is having a horse that no longer feels safe or able to express themselves in a way that makes sense to them and in the way that they know how. So when Gus quickly escalated from just showing teeth to baring teeth, my general direction, that was a get the fuck back, lady. And if I were to punish that, there's a high probability that next time something happens, he doesn't give me warning signs. He just goes right to it. Now in the second video, I believe that horse is wildly overwhelmed and clearly stressed out being in the environment that it's in. But that horse gave all of the warning signs that that person was gonna get bitten. And hitting that horse or punishing that horse prior to it happening was not going to make that situation any better. In fact, it would probably just make that horse more dangerous and more of a risk to others in the future. This ended up being a lot longer than I wanted it to, but sorry. And before y'all all show up and start harping on you must demand respect from horses. Horses cannot understand the concept of respect. Horses only understand the cause and effect of the things that you have taught it, reinforced, or punished. Respect would mean that they see you as something of high value or hold you in high regard, and that's why they do something for you. That's not how horses work. You can't teach a horse to respect you. You can't demand respect from a horse. You can just train it to, like, stay away from you or not do the things that you don't want it to do, or do the things that you want it to do with consequence if they don't. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling, so I'm just going to end it there, but hope that was somewhat informative. Sorry it's so long.